The kids is all the fruits and healthy mind, healthy body, healthy life. Soul Food on Smooth 98.1.
Okay, we are about to come in. Good morning if you're joining us for the first time, but if you're not, well, thank you so much for being there and listening. You're welcome to Soul Food here in Smooth 98.1, the show that feeds your soul, feeds your mind, your body, tells you what and what not to do. I never do that alone. I always have the expert and my guests, the professionals in the house, because it's very important that you have the accurate information. And on days like this, which is the 31st of December, 2022, I have a special guest who is not new to the show at all. She's been here more than 5 times, I believe. And you know her voice, you know her face, you know what she says. That's the truth, the absolute truth. And that's why we're telling you, before you cross over into a new calendar year, do not carry some loads, some mentality, some habits with you. That's what we're discussing this morning on Soul Food. At any point of the show, if you are in agreement or not in agreement with one of the things we're saying, you can just come through on WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. Again, 0809-444-0981. And of course, you can call 01-448-9981. Now, my guest is on YouTube. You can join us on YouTube, by the way. It is youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. Again, Smooth 91 FM Lagos is the channel on YouTube. By now, you should be subscribed so that you don't have to go through the stress. Just click on the notification whenever you see that we have gone live and you join it. My guest is a medical doctor, an international board certified lifestyle medicine. She is a physician, nutritionist, weight loss coach, and of course, right now her middle name is Gloria because she's glowing and she is just everywhere with the smooth skin that is so elastic, lots of collagen. The smile itself is brightening me up this morning. The one and the only CEO Ariella Health and Fitness, Dr. Chinasa Amadi. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's always a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much for, coming on this morning. How are you? How have you been with what's the year? How has it been in the year?
Oh, I can't complain. I think once you have life, there's a lot to be thankful for. And that alone, not just having life, being healthy is a lot to be thankful for. And just jumping right into what we're saying earlier about, some habits we need to just let go of. Someone made a comment on one of our posts and was like, whoa, last, something must kill a man. And I'm like, it's not about the dying. It's about living well. That is the mentality to go into 2023 with. How can I live well while I am on earth? That is key. How can I live healthy? Because this body we have is the only motor vehicle you have to run life with. If it's not capable of running life for you or with you, then it's over. So we should, drop that mentality of something must kill a man. Well, I have to eat anything I want. Well, I will do what I want. Something. No, it's not about the killing. It's not about the death. It's about living. That is one mentality.
Thank you. So since you have already gotten started on it, there is a bone I want to pick with you, Dr. Chinasa. One of your posts, you talked about puff puff. We want to start from there because I don't understand what you meant by puff puff. Be careful of puff puff. Please put it on speaker.
Well, you see, if most times the caption, people don't listen to the end of the video.
Yeah.
And the point of that video was, hey, your fried snacks are high in trans fat. Now, I also made another video about akara, something like that. Everyone was taking me on that. And I'm like, because these are things you can't boil. There is no boiled akara. We can do boiled plantain. It's no more fried dodo again. Do you understand? There are alternatives to certain foods. While there are certain foods that must be deep fried, almost literally. If not, it's now something else. It's no more, it's now maybe pancake or some other thing. It's no more puff. So it's the point is eating lots of fried snacks it's been linked to raising your trans fat. And we are seeing now that whether you have high blood pressure or not, or you have type 2 diabetes or not, high cholesterol on its own is capable of, increasing your risk of a stroke, increasing your risk of an atherosclerosis on its own. And it's this bad fat, which is a trans fat, that most times is implicated, of course, with sat fat and all that. So that is it. We cannot keep eating and say, there are some people that, at certain bus stops, they have it off, it's frying there, literally, you're picking and going to work, it's breakfast, standard breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long do you want to faji for like 1 year? And then later we're arguing with your health. So changes that we can make, the point of this post are changes you can make informed decisions when you're putting something into your mouth.
Okay.
Choice still.
But for someone who has had lots of dirty December, whose December is very, very dirty, filled with lots of eating, unhealthy, definitely, a lot of alcohol too, how can you advise them to start the calendar year on a new note? I mean, the health habits to incorporate. Now, while you simmer on that thought, I'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll get started from there. You're listening to Soul Food here on Smooth 98.1. My guest is Dr. Chinasa Amadi, and we are talking about the health habits you need to drop and the new ones for you to pick, because we know there can be no vacuum. So the ones you're dropping, you need to inculcate and build new ones. If you care so much about your health and you want a better 2023, I think you should stay tuned actually and invite your family and friends. If you're not in Nigeria or they are not in Nigeria, just send them this link. That will be www.smooth91.fm. Tell them to go to the listen live option and they'll be able to hear us live and direct.
Love life. We are Oluwaseun.
Thank you. So we go on a minute break and then we come back.
98.1. It just feels good.
My people, we bring to you here and now the Glow Festival of Joy Promo.
It's a life-changing prize galore from Glow.
A stadium full of gigabyte prizes to be won.
20 brand new houses,
24 brand new cars,
100 generators,
200 sewing machines, 1,000 rechargeable fans,
and thousands upon thousands of other unbelievable prizes.
Just dial *611# to enter and win in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data during the promo period and you could win a house. And if you recharge or load data from 500 naira to 10,000 naira monthly, weekly, or daily, you stand a chance to win a brand new car plus other great prizes.
Don't just sit around scratching your chin.
Dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions apply.
Glow Unlimited.
Feed your mind and the rest will follow.
Free your mind.
You start with figuring out, what does health look like for me? Physically, mentally, emotionally, and work really hard on being good at you.
Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy life.
Food can make us feel good, it can make us numb out, it can distract us, it can de-stress us.
Soul Food on Smooth 98.1 from 8 a.m. every Saturday.
And that's what you're listening to right now. It is Soul Food here on Breakfast in Bed on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun, and my guest this morning is Dr. Chinasa of Ariella Health and Fitness. We're talking about the health habits for you to just build up in 2023, because if you want to have a good life, you should think about your health. In fact, I have found out that there is no wealth without health. So it's important. Now, before the break, I said I was going to ask you that question about how a person who has had a really dirty December, an unfit 2022, how can they get started? Because I realized that when people fall off the wagon, it's not that easy for you to get back on it, especially as touching consistency. It's somehow hard. And I say this from a personal point of view. Sometimes when I exercise and I go days and every day, yeah, there is a dopamine I'm going. Once there is a day, 2, 3 break, for me to get back to exercising, it's usually hard. So first off, how can a person who has not been the person who has not had good health habits, how can they get started in 2023? Plus, how do they achieve consistency?
They can't get started if they do not want to get started. Most people, first of all, they jump on that. Oh, I need to make a new resolution. And the typical new resolution is, oh, get healthy, drink more water, eat vegetables, do all that. Yes. But really, you have to, first of all, change your mindset about your health. What does your health mean to you? Is it important first? Because if it's not important, you will not prioritize. Typically, we as humans do not prioritize what is not important to us. And a lot of us, we think we'll say, oh, how is my health now? It's important. No, if it is important, you will prioritize. That is not negotiable. So you have to, first of all, find on your scale of importance and preference, what is your health important to you? How bad do you really want this? Then you start conditioning your mind before we even get right into the new year. Start conditioning your mind that, hey, I am going to do different. And that mental conditioning is the first step. Then the next step is that place where you are at and you say, oh, you're exercising and all of a sudden you jump. Now, most of the time, I just say healthy living is like a school, for example. You don't go for the first time to school and you go to primary 3. You miss 2 classes, you are going to fail, literally. So you have to start from KG gradually to nursery, then pre-primary, and then primary 1. You know, it's a stepwise growth. That way, you see children that did double promotion, all those, I want my child to finish at 7 years. There's difference. There's difference, literally, you know. There's difference from those that follow this systematically. Each class, they are learning the activities for that class. So you're in your exercising level, you're meant to be in KG. But because of you did but hey, no, I want to go to primary 5, I want to write common entrance tomorrow. And then you go to primary 5, you now write common entrance and fail. That fail, you just slide back even lower than KG, literally. So I'm trying to use this illustration to help you understand the journey. It's a journey. The healthy lifestyle is a journey. You don't just jump into one. You don't just start running. Oh, I'm going to start my exercise routine today. You wear your kit and start running around from Lagos to Shagamu. It won't make you won't do anything. Just walk in your backyard. Walk in your living room first. Then take it outside. Walk in your backyard. Then walk on your street. Then gradually you are increasing. Then one day we'll see you that we'll now hear that you ran to Abuja. That is fine. But you do not start running all that race when you are not prepared for it. At each stage of your healthy lifestyle journey, you have built resilience. Resilience is important in consistency with every part of life. Healthy living, or financial living, or mental health, or social health, or relationship. To stay consistent, you need to be resilient. Same thing, you need to build resilience even with the healthy lifestyle journey for the next step of the journey. So start with eating 1 orange, then gradually do 2. If you decide to say, oh, today is that day I'm eating a basin of salad, it's 3 days that salad basin will last. After that, you're going back to, you will dirty January and February at once, literally. So it's important that you make little changes gradually, little incremental changes. That is what brings the change. Not going, boom, I must do it.
Thank you very much. That is a very key principle of life. You have to start with the little things. That's what you can keep, and then you build up. And I think personally, while I was introspecting, one of the things which also might be applicable to others is that, especially the young ones, we sometimes feel we have time in terms of, building the health habits. We feel, oh yeah, I'm not 40 yet. I'm not 50 yet. So I still have time. I can get away with a lot of things. But that is not true. So it's very important for you. I think if there is one key thing I can extract from what you said, it is, how do you rank your health? The way you rank your health will determine your attitude towards it. And while you were talking about starting with a small bowl of salad and then you can increase it to basin, there is something you also talked about in your post that I would like you to share with the people listening. You said fruit juices are not fruits. Now, somebody listens and says, okay, I have heard I'm going to start in beets, one orange. Oh, yes, what if I take an orange juice? Oh, that's healthy. According to the marketing strategy, they say it is healthy. But is a fruit juice really a fruit?
I'll just take it as like I made a transient post on even something like Zobo, for example. And I put the Zobo in the fridge, okay? It fermented. It literally turned to alcohol. Yes. So in the fridge, there was light, consistent light. It was very cold. So, but it still turned to alcohol. So I was like, look at it. It's why do we want people to be thinking for us? We feel we are adults. You should make your own health decisions. You hear and you filter. You understand? The Holy Book will say, filter every spirit, literally. You hear, but filter. Filter information. And that is why you have your own mental mind. So someone tells you that this orange juice inside this container, it's all natural, there's no preservative, but it's expiring in 2024. How does it make sense? Squeeze your own orange juice and keep it in your kitchen. By evening, it has turned to kai, literally.
Kai.
Honestly, it will be competing with schnapp, our ancestral schnapps. So it's important that you use your mind to think. Use your mind. When they tell you something, we should be thinking more about what we put into our body. Remember, that's why I said it's first of all, prioritize it. If you're going into a business and they say this business will make you money, you won't just jump into that business. You'll sit down and do some feasibility study, do some analysis, with this. Oh, yes. But when it comes to your health, they just tell you this. Oh, no problem. When your body is not a garbage bin, your body is not a dumping ground, that is why it all starts with prioritizing. I was telling my kids the other day, they say, oh, Mom, you don't eat this. I'm like, oh, but it's sweet. I'm like, that it's sweet is not permissible. And that's because of how my body is too glorious to pour certain things inside. If you want to pour it in, and then they look at me like, oh, Mommy, that's not fair. But sometimes you have to because they are also struggling with that information they get from school, they get from where they're hearing things outside. So I say, okay, look at this. But that's because of where I have positioned my own health in my mind, where I've positioned my body is. My body is not a keke napep. My body, I don't have a Lamborghini, but my body is a Lamborghini. So there are certain kind of oils you can't pour in a Lamborghini. You can't pour a certain kind of fuel. You can't just buy any black market fuel and pour in your Bentley. It will crash. But if you pour it in your Korope, it will move to Ibadan and come back. So what does your body? For me, my body is some sort of exotic Tesla. So I can't treat it like it's Korope or is it Keke. I can't treat it that way. So if your body is a vehicle, is your body a Bentley or a Ferrari, and you're treating it like Korope, it won't last. And then all the money that was invested in that vehicle
Thank you so much. It's always how you describe and your analogies, your examples, just to drive home the point that gets me so much. Thank you. If you want to join this conversation, we have very few minutes to the end of it. So if you have any questions, you can quickly ask it via WhatsApp, which is 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. Or you can call 01 448 9981. That allows you to ask questions immediately and fast. So call 01 448 9981. We will take our last break, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping this conversation up. I can't even believe 30 minutes is almost gone already. And we're talking about the things you need to address first before you even start building the health habits. What does your body mean to you? Well, in the words of Dr. Chinasa, her body is an exotic Tesla. Is yours a Kekenapep? Is yours Korokwe? I can't get out of my head. So you need to value your body and rank your health first. And that will determine how you build the habits and what you do, what you consume, and the lies you believe sometimes. We know some of the things we eat, as a result of the marketing. So be careful. All right, after this break, we'll be back to wrap this conversation up. You're listening to Soul Food here on Smooth 98.1.
We are your number one adult contemporary radio station.
This is Smooth.
So when we come back, you just
98.1.
tell us some of the things that you feel you have seen quite a number of it, and you feel people should address some of maybe mentalities in as a result of your experience and your patience. I know we definitely like that quick fix. And there is one I also want to ask, even though we have 5 more minutes. Do we need to get started always with fasting, with intermittent fasting? And secondly, as we're entering a new year, calendar year, many churches are going to be fasting. So what are the things that they should be aware of so that they don't put themselves in trouble? All right, we're coming in. Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. We're talking about your health and wellness, and we certainly would love to have your views and your comments on soul food. You can send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981 or call 01 448 9981. Here is Studio Mies asking that he recently read somewhere that noodles is not safe for consumption and that it contains wax, which takes up 3 days to get out of the system. Is this true? Okay, so over to you, Dr. Chinasa, without mentioning brand name, please. Thank you.
Of course. I'll just say something my friend said yesterday. My friend was saying there was a way that Dr. Chinasa could burn these companies down, literally, she will. Because my children were asking her children about that. And she was like, don't say it. Your mother will burn the companies down. So that's my position.
Okay.
So you see that's how you won't burn what you love.
I hope you got the answer, Sunil Mies. That is very loaded. So we'll try not to burn a lot of things here. So back to that one that I said I was going to ask you on the break. As it is the tradition with many religious churches, and let's say religious churches, many places or many people, January is for fasting. You know, it's a new calendar year and we want to get in the good of it. So what are some of the things people should be aware of, people should be in tune with whenever it concerns fasting? Because this fasting is not just for a week. Sometimes it goes for 2 weeks, sometimes a whole month, sometimes 3 months. So what are the things they should note when it concerns this fasting?
Things to note is, one of the key things to note is when you're fasting, it's important that when you break your fast, you're breaking your fast with wholesome foods. You know, people are just breaking their fast with, they're just grabbing this soda, this snack. Break your fast with food, proper food. We all know what real food is. You're not eating rice and beans, or eating beans and dodo, or you're eating swallow and break your fast with real food. That is key. That's just one thing I'll say, because that is what the fasting can be. Think of that fasting you're going into for both its spiritual and physical benefit. So you're going into, it's not just that, oh, you want the spiritual. I tell people, literally, most churches are going to be fasting, and that is pretty much, it's a sort of healthy detoxing for the physical body. And even the Holy Book says your physical body is where the spirit dwells, literally, is the temple. So it's important that when you finish that fasting for spiritual health, you don't come and ruin it with junk food to pour into that temple. So when you have going with that mindset that, hey, I'm going to use this fasting for both spiritual and physical benefits, that's when you'll thrive. So always make sure that you're eating with breaking with wholesome foods. As much as possible, stay away from junk foods. We all know what junk food is. I don't even need to call the name. I don't need to start listing what junk foods are, but we all know what junk foods are. Do not break your fast with junk foods as much as possible. It will be a stress. Your body will now recognize that fasting as stress. And then when you recognize that stress with what you're eating as extra stress, you're losing the whole point, the whole benefit. So you're ending your 40, 50-day spiritual fast, and you're coming down with some sort of maybe high blood pressure, or you're looking haggard and old, or you're your skin is drying up, you're looking exhausted. Feed the body well when you are not fasting.
Thank you very much. What I hear in what you're saying is planning. It's very important for us to plan if you're going to be fasting, because I imagine a situation where you have been fasting the whole day, you're meant to break at 6 o'clock, and you have nothing inside to quickly give you the energy. So the next thing you can do is grab a bottle of soda, or you grab some roasted or some plantain chips in traffic. So if you're going to be fasting, maybe you should just plan and pack your food or something so that you are not tempted to resort to the junk foods, because it will be so not nice when you have stayed away for many hours and then you're just about to eat and you get a bottle of soda. But still on that though, so that I'm meant to eat whole foods to break my fast. Can I break my 12-hour fast with a plate of pounded yam?
Oh, sure. Pounded yam with your soup. That's very good.
So you're saying there are no foods, the mentality I have is, okay, you start with the light food, maybe fruit or vegetables or salad before you work it up to the heavy foods in quotes.
It depends on what your fasting duration is. Some people fast till 6 p.m. so they have allowance for just one meal. So you could have your water. First thing is to drink water. So whether you drink water and have your fruit before or after, that is fine. Now, the problem most of the time is people are having this size of pounded yam, size of a human head with 2 tablespoons of ogbono soup. It's important to know that in soup and swallow, the key meal is the soup, sorry. That's the key food. Then the swallow is the accompaniment. So don't eat that, oh my God, me and this pounded yam is our own today. No, the soup is the goal. So have a lot of soup with your, by the time you put a lot of soup, you'll find out that your pounded yam reduces in quantity automatically. Now it's important to also know that there is difference between pounded yam and poundo yam. Yeah, two different.
That's another one for another day. And another story for another day is even the kind of soup, the way we make our soup.
That's another story for that one is a full book.
But a story that I want us to quickly touch on is how the noodles that we touched on earlier, just a little bit. Do we have any kind of healthy noodles? I know we have different types of noodles. We have the instant noodles. That's the one that we have so much question about. But do we have healthy noodles? Because I know we have the ramen, the Singaporean noodles. Those ones seem healthy. Are they really healthy, or every noodle is not so healthy?
The goal is reduce, as much. First of all, the instant noodles, those ones are not at all, of course. Now, the goal also is that reduce as much processed food intake you take in. So these are made from wheat, yeah? it's not like if you go to some Asian country, they're making these from maybe vegetables or some other, they make their noodles from a lot of vegetable sources and they make them fresh, consume them, and that's it most of the time. But the instant options, of course, not good. If you want healthy, eat foods that the distance between their original form and their present form is not far. You understand?
Thank you.
Good. It's like you want to have yam noodles and you want to have boiled yam. They are all yam, which is healthier. Boiled yam. You uprooted the yam, boiled it. But by the time you start thinking of how did this yam become noodle, that means that is not something you should be eating.
Thank you very much for the explanation, brief and straight to the point. So I hope you are much more enlightened now, and I hope that you have the answer to your question, Tunde Omi. So I hope it's helpful, because he said he disagrees with being economical with the truth. Thank you so much to everyone who's been a part of the conversation. We've saved this video for you. You can just find it on YouTube. So you go to youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. Share it with your family and friends as always, because if you need to be healthy in 2022, or 2023 rather, they need to be healthy too, so that no one is burdening the other person with medical bills. And I hope that is not the case for you. All right, we continue at, say, 8:40. That will be with the kids on Curious Minds. So if they're between 6 to 15 years of age, I think they should be a part of the show. This is Smooth 98.1. Thank you so much. Enjoy your dirty December that is ending today, and you have a clean January. You can do that shut now. Bye.